Wolfenstein: The New Order is an action-adventure shooter. It's set in this alternate history of the world. The year is 1960 and the Nazis have conquered the world and taken over the globe. We have a large story component in Wolfenstein: The New Order. What we're trying to do is create sort of this perfect fusion of storytelling and gameplay where both of those reinforce each other and sort of propels the player through this adventure. In this new section that we're showing here at QuakeCon, we also show the introduction of one of our main antagonists for the game, Death's Head. We worked a lot with sort of the characterization of him and what he would be in this type of adventure. We've taken a lot of inspiration from the original Wolfenstein 3D and the sort of weird technology of that game. Also, General Death's Head, his whole thing is all about the sort of amalgamation of man and machine, or biology and machinery. So a lot of the enemies in the game are sort of rooted in those sick fantasies. There's many different enemies in this game. A really important one is, of course, the classic super soldier, who's made appearances in almost all Wolfenstein games, and we're sort of amping that creature up to the next level. And you'll encounter those guys in various ways throughout this adventure. This wouldn't be a Wolfenstein game unless there was a lot of secrets in there. So in all areas, if you take the time to explore, you will find really interesting things. And it's not only, you know, pickups and cool things. It is those things too, but it's also allowing you to enter into areas where you can gain tactical advantages during battle, those kinds of things. We spent a lot of time developing the character of BJ Blazkowicz. In our game, he's still very much inspired by the original Wolfenstein 3D guy. So he is this sort of muscle-bound grunt that, you know, it was based on the action movies of the late 80s, early 90s. But on top of that, we've layered in a lot of character, and we've humanized him in a way that I think players can really engage with. We have a lot of really cool weapons in the game. Many of them are extrapolated from sort of Nazi aesthetics, and some of them are inspired by some of the more outlandish ideas that the Nazis had in terms of their avant-garde R&D. But the game is not only a shooter, it has really polished shooting in it, but it's much broader than that. We look at it as it's more of an action-adventure. We're trying to merge storytelling and sort of intense action into a complete whole. And there's a lot of adventuring things too to discover if you take the time to explore in the game. Wolfenstein: The New Order will be released in 2014. It's for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3.